Hey everyone, I have some follow-up thoughts to my median household income live stream. Thank you to everyone who watched it. Hey everyone, as per usual, please smash that like button on the way in, and also please consider subscribing to the channel if you are not subscribed. That would help the channel out in terms of engagement, and it would help me out personally. And now on to our feature presentation. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Big Discussions 76, my original channel. My name is Dr. Anwar Yusuf Dunbar, and I just wanted to come in here and create a follow-up video to my median household income live stream discussion. Oftentimes when I do live streams, I do go back and watch the playback to see how clearly I spoke and to see if I hit all my points. And sometimes when you get into a flow in that live stream format, you don't hit all of your points. And so I was watching it earlier today and I said, I forgot to say this, I forgot to say this, and I forgot to say this. And I think that, well, if I'd gotten those points in, it would have been a better live stream. I was happy with the quality, but there were some things I just wanted to come in and follow up on. And this is going to be a really, really quick video. So that's what this is. Well, the first thing I forgot to do was shout out my middle school. I mentioned it, but I didn't say the name. It was the Campus West College Learning Laboratory, uh, which was on the campus of Buffalo State College. I don't think that school is open anymore. I went back there and it is just another campus building for, I think they hold classes in there now, but that was my middle school. Unfortunately, I don't remember the teacher who taught me about the mean, the median, and the mode. Now I'm going to reiterate what I said in the stream last night for all of the education majors out there. In this country, a lot of times we teach things. Should I say we? Yeah, I always try to teach the practical application of things, but we don't always teach the practical application for these things. So kids learn these things and they don't understand what they're for and why we need them and why we use them. And I certainly didn't understand the value of learning about the mean, the mode, and the median. Let me do it in order. The mean, the median, and the mode. So I didn't mention Campus West, so shout out to Campus West. Now, the other thing goes back to my beloved mom. She did, in reaction to that video I made about the 38-year-old woman being selfish. That was an article. I didn't write that, but I thought it was important to share on this channel in terms of what's happening in our modern society and our modern culture. But anyway, she said, maybe you should think about doing more Black centered content. I talked about that in the stream. She also said you should use more statistics. So I use statistics when it's appropriate. I don't always do them. Some pieces are thought pieces. Some of them are articles that I see online or in print. So that was the other thing that she said. You should think about making more Black. You should think about making more Black centered content, and you should use statistics when you're talking about things, which I totally agree with when it's appropriate. Statistics, they help to quantify things and they bring a level of empiricism to phenomenon that we see in this instance in society and in our modern culture. So that's another thing she said. So I wanted to ask questions throughout that stream. Part of science, whether it's the hard stems or the social sciences or political science or economics, is once you gather your data and you run the statistics and you collate the data and you aggregate the data. And then in some instances, when you disaggregate the data, once you process the data, then there's the analysis portion. So then there is the asking of, okay, what does this data mean? What do these numbers mean? So I spent time talking about median household income in terms of the different racial and ethnic groups. So in that stream, it's there. Please go back and watch it if you haven't. But I showed data highlighting or stating or communicating. I showed data communicating that Asian Americans have the greatest median household income. White non-Hispanics have the second greatest median household income, and then Hispanics, and then Black Americans. So one question I asked, and I think this is something we should all think about, especially with this being an election year, is that what did those numbers mean? How do you account for those rankings and that data? How do you account for Asians having the highest median household income, followed by European Americans or white Americans? I don't want to offend anybody. And then Hispanics, and then Black people. Is that racism? Is that the legacy of slavery? Are those cultural values from the home and from the communities? Are those majors chosen in college? Is that participation in the blue collar trades? How do you explain those differences in median household income? So that was one question that I asked. And then the other one was the differences between the genders. How do you account for those differences in median income for men versus women? Is that some sort of gender discrimination? Is that the majors chosen? Is that hours worked? Is that, once again, participation in the blue collar trades? How do you account for that? I've watched a lot of podcasts on that. There are books I want to read on that, but many have concluded that it's not necessarily gender discrimination. I might get myself in trouble. Not gender discrimination, gender inequality. Gender inequality. I might get myself in trouble for saying that, but people have been studying this and trying to explain it for a while now. And one conclusion is that it's not gender discrimination. I keep saying gender discrimination. But so how do you explain those differences in pay between men and women? All right. And the other point I made in that live stream was that seemed to me to be W-2 income, and it wasn't investments or dividends from stocks or passive income from rental property or profits from businesses. That was W-2 income, people punching the clock every day. All right. Now, the final point, well, one of the final points I wanted to make was that in the federal government, as of now, I'm a federal employee. Gender inequities, maybe that's the best way to put it, not gender discrimination, gender inequity in terms of income, in terms of median household income. And then there's a difference between median household income and median personal income. So shout out to Salchi the Equalizer. So the other thing I wanted to say is that in the federal government, we don't see that. We don't see that gender, those differences in pay, gender inequities. I feel like I'm saying this wrong. In terms of pay, because federal employees are all paid on the general schedule. So that means that there are grades and there are steps within those grades. I have videos on this in my library, but federal workers are all paid on the same scale. So at some point, in some instances, it becomes about getting that promotion. and getting promoted to a GS 14 or a GS 15, if you're that high up on the ladder, or a GS 11, it becomes about the promotions as opposed to men getting paid this and women getting paid that, or women getting paid this and men getting paid that. It's a little bit more merit based, and there is some competition involved depending upon which agency and office you work in. So I wanted to point that out, that in the federal government, you don't see that. You don't really see that because the scale it's a general schedule. It's a general scale, a general pay scale, which has, in my time in the federal government, has frustrated some people, not me, but that's something that I observed about that and that I wanted to point out about that. So I'm gonna end this video by calling it gender pay inequality. Maybe that's the best way to put it. Gender pay inequality, gender discrimination in terms of employment and pay and salary. I think you all get what I'm trying to say. And those are all the points that I wanted to make that I didn't hit on in the live stream. Overall, I was happy with the live stream, but I think these are points that I needed to drive home and questions that I needed to ask to kind of tie things up in a very eloquent way. So let me know what you think in the comments section below. That live stream should be the previous offering from this channel. If I remember, I'll put it in the description box for this video. I think that one was about an hour long, so this one is a bit of a quick hit. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments section below. This is Big Discussions 76, my original channel. My name is Dr. Anwar Yusuf Dunbar. Please like, share, and subscribe if you want to donate something to the channel. My Cash App and PayPal are below in the description box. You can also leave a super thanks. And finally, please consider joining the Big Words LLC Newsletter. In addition to being a YouTube content creator, I'm also a writer with 2 blogs and a book project on the way. And I intend to publish part 1 this year. Let's see if that happens. And with that, everyone, I'm going to wrap this up. As always, remember that your attitude determines your altitude. Always try to do your best. Take care, and I will talk to you the next time. If you watch that live stream, assuming YouTube hasn't taken the links out because their algorithm considered those links spam, all of those data sets from the Census Bureau and the Bureau of Labor Statistics, all of those are below that live stream. If I remember, I'll put them below this video as well. Take care, and I'll talk to you the next time. Bye-bye.